Let's look at one more example of a paired t-test. A convenience food known as Quick Nosh was introduced into the British market in January 1992. After a poor year for sales, the manufacturers initiated an intensive advertising campaign during January of 1993. The sales, in thousands of pounds, for a 1 month period before and a 1 month period after the advertising campaign are listed for each of 11 regions. At the 5% significance level, determine whether an increase in mean sales has occurred. The order of subtraction for this problem is after minus before. So let's take a look at the data set. You'll notice they listed the regions as just A through K. And then we have the sales before, and those are listed in thousands of pounds. So when it says 2.4, we would multiply that by 1,000. So really what that says is there were 2,400 pounds of sales there. And similarly with the sales after, we take that 3.0 and multiply it by 1,000. So there were 3,000 pounds in sales. The differences column is what we're going to be interested in here. So we did after minus before. So that means that any positive value in the differences column means those sales increased after the advertising. There are, it looks like, 2 places that had negative values. So that means their sales decreased after that advertising campaign. So we have a mean and a standard deviation for just those differences, and that's what we're going to work with in this test. All right, so our parameter statement here, we got to talk about those mean differences. So we're going to test the claim the mean difference in sales increased after the marketing campaign. Our hypotheses, the mean difference is 0, meaning the sales before and after were roughly equal, or we have the mean differences are greater than 0. Our assumptions and conditions, so these are all going to be based on that highlighted column of differences. So our simple random sample was not stated. Our sample size is 11, so the central limit theorem does not apply here, but the normal probability plot is good enough. It's a little bumpy, but good enough. And then our sample standard deviation of the differences column was 0.91. So we have a paired t-test here because we have 2 values for each region. The test statistic I got from Excel was 3.125. And so that gave me a p-value of 0.0053. So definitely less than our 5%, so we do reject. So with a p-value of 0.0053 at the 5% significance level, we do have evidence the average or mean difference in sales after the marketing campaign increased. So in other words, that average difference in sales is statistically significant. All right, so that's a little bit about that paired t-test, and I want to let you know what you're going to expect to see in this homework. So you do need to be able to do that 2-sample t-test, either with the spreadsheet I built or the data analysis package. As far as the paired t-test goes, what I'm going to expect you to do is to be able to distinguish between whether something was a 2-sample, independent samples, or it was a paired or matched pairs process. So I'm not going to have you go through this whole process, but you do need to be able to distinguish between those. Additionally, for the test, I have a note sheet that has the intervals and all the information for the phantoms for the test on it that you'll be able to use on the last exam. All right, so thank you for hanging in here and doing so well. I will see you at the last exam, and then you will be done.